So I am Randy Hall. I'm Vice President of Research at University of Southern California. And I'm giving a bit of an opening introduction here. And at the same time, I'm very fascinated by the images on the screen. So you'll find today is a very dynamic day where there's visualization and then there's words coming out of people's mouths, such as myself. And I hope you can absorb everything that's coming at you. But just to say a little bit about myself, I feel like I was one of the last people to write a dissertation on a typewriter, which was, for me, about the best technology available at the time. This was a few years before the IBM PC was introduced. And at the time, when you wrote with a typewriter, it was a very different feeling than with a computer. Anyone who's had this experience recognizes two distinct qualities of typing on a typewriter. One is the satisfaction of completion once it is finished, because it is somewhat arduous. And the second thing is the conviction that once it is completed, you don't want to change a thing, because it is not at all simple to do so. Well, it wasn't long afterward that the IBM PC changed much of writing so that we could edit and change much more readily and create more dynamic documents. But over the next 25 years or so, we've seen many other changes in technology. We've seen the growth of the internet as a form of immediate messaging and communication. We've seen the ability to distribute information and access information from remote locations around the world through the World Wide Web and through web page technology. We've seen the creation of powerful search tools that can algorithmically access and assess the significance of documents and work that's posted on the internet so we can find things that are most immediate and relevant to ourselves. We have multimedia authoring tools that make it possible for ordinary people to communicate in profound new ways. And we also have, more recently, social networking tools which support the creation of virtual communities of all types. These tools have provided immediacy, sharing, visualization, search capabilities, and communities that have changed the world of knowledge from products that are discrete, final, and personal to ones that are much more dynamic and collaborative. And this has created what I would call a continuum of knowledge rather than discrete knowledge, which does not have well-defined starts and finishes, transcends individuals, transcends places, and transcends times. Well, today's event is about understanding how those changes will affect the future of university research, and the future of research at USC in particular. While universities are rooted in centuries-old traditions, we are also looked at as beacons of innovation. But do we have the institutions, do we have the infrastructure, and the culture to do just that, to be innovative in the decades ahead, not just in the research content, but in the way that we do research? So think of these types of questions. What will be the research products in the future? What will they look like? What forms will they take? How will we assess the quality? How will we share the results of our research? How might we evolve into widely distributed networks of collaborators? How will we recognize accomplishments of our faculty, our students, departments, and universities in this changing environment? How are all these influenced by moving from a discrete model of research with individual products that end at particular points in times and are more static to one that is more of a continuum of knowledge that's changing, evolving, and involves communities? Attendees today come from many parts of this university. This is a very interdisciplinary audience. If you look at individual disciplinary areas such as medical sciences, the humanities, and so on, there are active debates in each of those communities as to how digital technologies is affecting their research. It's somewhat rare to bring such communities together as we are doing today. And we're doing that today because when it comes down to it, the issues are not that different that the humanities is facing than the sciences and engineering and so on. So we were looking for that kind of sharing. Also today in attendance, you'll find members of the USC Strategic Planning Committee and its subcommittee on research. And these faculty are helping chart the direction of USC for the future. Also attending are members of the University Research Committee, which is working on recommendations for things like how do we account for all this in promotion and tenure? How do we attribute authorship to individuals who are contributing to these kinds of research products, and what is the role of digital scholarship in the future? And also represented today is ITS, the Provost's Office, where we're continuing to evolve and create programs that support collaborative scholarship, information sharing, and so on. So we all look forward to hearing the ideas presented, but most importantly, participating in an active debate and discussion of what we might become as a university, what we might become as a research community, and how USC can be at the forefront of knowledge creation and dissemination through innovation and how research is done. With that, I'll turn it over. Is it Marty next? Sure. Okay.